I have some shit to say about this one.
Welcome to the Delta League podcast. I'm Mike ED.
I'm fucking JD.
Yeah. And wow, what a crazy first week of Delta League Season 3.
Crazy isn't the goddamn word for it. This is bullshit.
Okay, let's just get on to it because this is what we do.
Let's start off strong, because what we should do.
We should start off strong,
Christ.
but holy smokes. Okay, we're going to work on Monday from Baltimore, who's hosting Vancouver and Las Vegas. And in this one, okay, breathe. Vancouver wins this one. Vancouver 28, Las Vegas 9. Baltimore...
That's not a typo, folks.
One.
Fucking one.
One goal. Jesus Christ. I mean, for Vancouver, D.D. Christopherson scored more goals than the whole Baltimore team. He had 7 points in this one. For Vegas, Emmett Ruin had 5 blocks. For Baltimore, are you kidding me? 1 goal. Fold the team now. Fucking brutal.
I've never been more disappointed in any of our teams in my life. This should be an awakening. This is not baseball.
This is not soccer. This is crazy. 1 goal. Now,
Mind you, folks, the average shots is about 15 or more.
yeah,
I couldn't believe we got 1.
1. Does not look good for the future of Delta League in the city of Baltimore.
I'm going to have to talk to the GM. I am so disgusted.
Yeah.
Frustrated's not the word.
Yeah. Well, after this game, Las Vegas player Elon Putterman came out and blamed the loss on balls.
Right, let's blame the animate object for our failures.
The guy was a scratch in this game. I mean, for a guy that was in the press box for the whole time, you'd think he'd see the game clearly from there. You lost bad because your team blows ass. What a loser.
If I had stock in this team, I'd sell it.
I mean, after the game, it became known that Vegas player Damian Ellis had been gambling against his own team.
You fucking shyster.
He's the second player this year inside 3 weeks that has been banned for life. What a horrible start to the year.
What was he thinking?
Yeah. Afterwards, Orca's player D.D. Christopherson came out and criticized his team. I mean, at least he scored 7 goals in this game instead of being a total hypocrite. But read the room next time. You won. You're not the team that scored 1 fucking goal. You won the game.
Folks, you know what's our loser? This is bad winner. Don't be this.
Oh, wow. Now, Las Vegas player Elon Putterman went out early in this one, and it looked like a UBI, upper body injury. Word is it was a pec strain. He'll be back next week.
Don't think you can Cody Rhodes this still, because you're not him.
Exactly. Now, on to Wednesday, where Portland
I don't know how we go over from that last one, to be honest. I know we're supposed to advance, but Jesus Christ.
Funny thing is, you can go lower than that. The worse than that is actually 0. Will we actually see no goals scored by a team in Delta League this year?
Take your bets, folks.
Holy shit.
Because that will be our shitstorm.
Yeah, exactly.
But if we keep talking about, oh my god.
Oh, Christ.
We will just get more upset, but this is what happens. We want people to succeed. This is how the game is. Everyone needs to progress. You can't progress with 1 fucking goal.
Yeah, they're never going to live this one down.
But I digress. What we got next?
What do we got next? We got Portland starting out their Delta League career against Salt Lake City and Miami. And in this one, somehow, Salt Lake City Salt Lake City 20, Miami also 20, Portland 16.
Salt
Now-
Lake City, I'm shocked.
I know.
Honestly.
I mean, I was taking Salt Lake City to score less than 10 goals in this game. They got frickin' 20. Salt Lake City misses out on their first win in over a year by 1 point.
And for those who are not familiar with the tie system, would you like to break it down for them?
The tie system. Well, there's a certain number of points allocated for certain positions because we have 3 teams playing at the same time. The only sport in which 3 teams play at the same time. If you finish first, you get 4. If you finish second, you get 2. If you finish last, you get nothing. If you tie for first, you get 2, 3 points apiece. So you share the 6.
You're very lucky of them.
Yeah, I know. It's like this might be the only points they get all year. I think that they should take this as a gift. So
Take this as inspiration.
I
Do
know
better.
it's crazy. It's crazy. Based upon what happened, you should look at the table after this particular week. They should thank their freaking lucky stars. Now for the Swarm, Blade Martell had 5 points, and Eli Ercolani had 12 blocks. For Miami, Deb DeWally had 5 blocks. For Portland, River Melcher had 5 points, and Nate Taft and Candy Varnetti had 5 blocks each. Now, when this game was announced, man, I have to admit I had 0 interest in this. 0. But as it appears, it's the most competitive game of the week.
And very surprising of one of the lowest teams in the sport.
Yeah.
We actually had a sleeper on this one.
Yeah. SLC came out late to the court, too, because their locker room bandit had struck again and locked them into their dressing room. One day they're going to catch this guy, and a beating supreme this guy's going to get.
You will
Yeah.
get caned. We promise you that.
Yeah, well, SLC player Charm Briggs. She came to the court with a new tattoo, and it's been called controversial, but it's a freaking American flag, but the colors are reversed. And she says it reflects her feelings on the country and how it's in crisis. Real cool looking, but you know some people have no sense of humor when it comes to Old Glory.
And that's the thing I gotta go on for a second. You are familiar with the Philippines flag, correct?
Yeah.
So if you didn't know this, they actually flip the flag and invert its colors during certain parts of life. So when blue is on top, they're in a nice state of peace. When red's on top, they're in a state of war.
Yes, I'm aware of that. Yeah.
If she thinks that there's shit going on in the country, she's showing it.
Yeah.
You don't want to keep this silent. This is just, she's showing patriotism by having the flag on her. I applaud that. Reversing the colors may seem controversial, but if she thinks that the country's in a state of crisis, she should let you know about it.
Yeah.
If you pretend everything's alright when it's not, that's when shit happens.
Yeah. Absolutely.
There's nothing wrong with playing around with the flag. If anything, people would call me out because I'd say, what would happen if the Canadian flag was blue instead of red?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. You're not dissing your country. You're showing heritage by also putting your favorite color on your favorite country.
Yeah.
So, for those of you who agree, I applaud you. For those who disagree, you might want to check yourself.
Yeah, exactly. It's, you know what? What someone decides to put on their body is their choice. I've seen tattoos that I would not want to show in public, but this one is far, far from controversial.
Yeah, this is not about, like, tattoos, because, like, obviously, you should not ever have the swastika on you, for example.
Oh, that's something
that's
that-
the one you shouldn't do.
That is the kind of tattoo that gets the shit beat out of you at the beach.
Yeah.
Now,
But I digress.
yeah, exactly. After the game, rookie Jesus Colon was called out for lackadaisical defensive play. Who said this? Some guy on Twitter said this. They almost won this game. The first game in over a year, and you blame this guy. I'm done with that guy. How about that? I'm done with that guy. That's what I think about so-called experts in this sport. Now, Swarm players Blade Martell and Don Kenworthy almost came to blows after this game. No idea what the hell this was about. Maybe it was the fact that you almost won the bloody fucking game. Cooler heads did prevail. Damn. Now, Riptide player Corbin Womack went down in the second period in this one, and he was in agony. Word is he ruptured his Achilles tendon. That was brutal. He's gone now 12 freaking weeks. He's out. Now,
It's going to be a long road, but
yeah, man.
work for it.
Crazy. Now, Portland player Alexander Harris and Nate Taft recorded yellow cards for Portland when they began mixing it up with Miami player Sunshine Adelma, who was sitting on the bench, legitimately out with a sprained knee. I guess he didn't like the taunting, but what it did prove that he wasn't as badly injured as they say, because he gets onto the court, knee brace and all, and they try to throw punches at the Riptide players. That is what they call the cherry on the sundae, the game of the week. Excellent. Oh yeah, Portland fans were also ejected from this game. Too bad for them. This might be the year's best effort. They get ejected from a game. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. How are you going to beat that game? Okay, let's move on to Friday. We got Boston hosting Washington in Atlanta. And Washington unloads the full pack. Washington 73, Atlanta 11, Boston 3. 3. Now, for Washington, Elix Henderson had 16 points and Andy Alway had 7 blocks. For Atlanta, they got over 10 goals, and it's some kind of miracle. But what the hell are we celebrating other than the fact that there's a team that played worse than they did? For Boston, nobody showed up, and it was pretty pathetic.
I pray for times like these, we don't ever have a bronze medal game. Because for the life of me, I can't see Boston going up against our lowest rated team with 1 and 3. Nobody wants to see that. I refuse to let us put that game on.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Atlanta player Jamie Ekstrom tore her tricep in the pregame warm-up. And it's pretty brutal diagnosis. She's gone for 9 weeks. Atlanta has very few reasons to be optimistic this year, and one of them just went out for 40% of the year. When it rains, it pours, I guess. And the start of the game was delayed due to a power outage, and the power was also out on the entire Boston team, who scored 3 fucking goals.
We do apologize for the outings. Unfortunately, we cannot do anything about Mother Nature taking its course during these games.
Yeah.
Whether it's the wind or the rain, we apologize.
Yeah. We apologize for that horrible performance by Boston.
That's another thing, too. If I have to see Boston come up with this again, I say we're going to have to reschedule our teams. Maybe we're going to have to triple wipe teams here.
Shit. I don't know.
If the 3 lowest teams, if they can't score more than 10 points, we have to talk.
Yeah, we have to have some serious talk. Now, let's just move on to Philly, who's hosting Detroit and Toronto. And Detroit, a bit of a surprise here. Detroit wins this one. Detroit 57, Toronto 32, Philadelphia 24. That's how you score.
This is what a game should look like.
Yeah. For Detroit, Hussein Cohen and Wayne Rickman had 13 points each. And Wilt Davola had 15 blocks in this one. For Toronto, Valdemar Odette had 7 points, and Gabriella Davignon and Katie Mustaine had 6 blocks each. And for Philly, Bobby Joe Singh had 7 points. Now, Mahmoud Najelko started out his Delta career in style, first by getting scratched, and then getting involved on the court in an incident, and getting an invitation to sit in the corner for 1 game. It was found that Toronto player Dudley Kajdan also was arrested this week. No idea what that was for. It was a bad look for the team, so as a result, he was also scratched from this game. It's not the first time Delta players have been arrested or pulled over by the cops.
Folks, there's only so much we can do. We can't helicopter everyone.
Yeah.
You gotta take some accountability for yourself.
Yep, absolutely. Now,
So, This one might come across for us as low scoring, but to be fair, as long as the score is close, I can't complain too much.
Yeah. This one was Memphis hosting Phoenix and Dallas. And we didn't know what to expect except for the fact that maybe Dallas might be scoring very few goals in this one like they normally do. In this one, Phoenix wins. Phoenix 22, Dallas 15, Memphis 11. What the hell happened here?
Well, Memphis shit the bed, but not as much as I thought they would have.
Yeah, and Dallas took total advantage of this one, and they got 2 points in the kitty now. For Phoenix, Jules Dassault had 6 blocks. For Dallas, Jay-Z Rude had 5 goals, and Frederick Jack alone had 28 blocks. That might tell you why the goals were so low. This guy was blocking everything in sight. And for Memphis, Cash Morganella had 8 blocks and not much else. Now, bad story here is early on in the week, Phoenix rookie Amicus Drummond broke his neck when he fell on his bike when he was going on a riding trail. The doctors say he's going to live, but he'll be paralyzed for the rest of his life. Just a devastating injury to such a young player. The Rising are going to miss his presence big freaking time. Just bad.
Not to throw any shade, but this will be also a big hit on Phoenix if they think about trying to get anywhere in this season.
Yeah.
Not to throw shade onto him breaking his neck. It's horrible. But now, what does Phoenix do as a team?
Yeah, exactly. See, before this game, suspended player, Phoenix player Chris Chin got involved in the pregame warm-up and went crashing through the goal in a really crazy kind of a moment here. He's okay, but the video of this looks pretty freaking crazy. Really crazy. It's not a freaking ring post. You just don't go flying into there. The goal went flying. This guy just went crashing. Pretty crazy, and he didn't even save it for the game. This guy was...
Folks, have you ever played a video game and experienced ragdoll physics? That's what this was.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. We've seen some really bizarre stuff. We've seen guys go through tables. We had one guy go through a table and break his hip. The scoring table one year. I believe in the first year. But that's pretty crazy. You got to look up the video of that. That's nuts.
We told you guys you don't need to be parking this at the end of each score shot.
Yeah, exactly. Now, for some reason, Pharaohs did not dress enough players for this game. It's either managerial incompetence or something is going on. Let's hope it's the latter because the coach, Ulrich Schultz, has been coach of the year the last 2 years running. Now, a bunch of extremely over-exuberant Phoenix fans made the trip to Memphis, and when the Rising came out on top of this one, they jumped on the court like they won the championship. That is a no-no in the game of Delta. They were arrested.
Folks, bring your signs, bring your shirts, bring your merch, but leave the game to the athletes.
Stay off the fucking court. Wow, now, after this game, Dallas rookie Jocelyn Lacroix conducted what could be considered to be the most annoying religious interview in the history of Delta League. Take it easy. This is week 1. There's 20 weeks to go. You didn't even win. Look at the score sheet. 1 goal, 1 block. He didn't help you. Praise Jesus.
To quote the great Terry Funk, let's leave God out of our business. He's gone through enough.
Wow. It's very, very popular for athletes to thank God for everything, but holy moly, 1 goal and 1 assist. Wow. Now, Memphis player Precious Monroe criticized her team after this game. I have to say, you had 1 block and 0 goals. Shut your mouth. Not good. Now,
You know that meme with the guy over-celebrating but he only got 3rd place? That's what this is.
yeah, exactly. Okay. Now, let's move on to Denver, where they're raising their championship banner into the rafters tonight, where they're hosting Montreal and New York, and they lose. This one, New York upsets them both. New York 47, Denver 25, Montreal 14.
Folks, you never pre-celebrate because they just look like jackknobs when you shit the bed.
You know, this always seems to be like a common motif. Every time a team raises the banner, they lose these games. Maybe they should just do it as a team beforehand.
Why don't you wait till if you win the game, and then you put it on, to have, like, here's a bonus celebration. That would be like, let's have a happy moment at the beginning of the game, and then you fucking lose.
It always seems to happen. For New York, Simon Bork had 7 points, and Chucky Sponga had 6 blocks. For Denver, Randy Magnuson had 5 goals, and Ray Rogers had 7 blocks. And for Montreal, nobody mustered jack shit now.
Even with being the highest scoring team so far with the lowest points, this is not a good sign because they just missed the average of what they're supposed to shoot.
Yeah. New York wins and spoils the Denver Sky, raising their championship banner into the rafters, and after the ceremony, the game was also delayed because the balls went missing. I mean, it was determined that the official for this game, Greg Maselis, had forgotten the balls in the Uber that he had taken to the game. The Denver team had some replacement balls that they used for the game, but rest assured, Mr. Maselis will be very paranoid the next time he travels.
Folks, we understand it's BYOB, bring your own balls, but we do have trailers for this scenario.
Yeah, exactly. Maelstrom player Antoine Lachance busted up his finger in this one. He's out for 3 weeks. And Tommy Lee Chavez got yellow carded to add the shit on top of the sundae.
Do we have any clarification of which finger it was?
I don't know what it was. I don't know if he gave someone the wrong finger. I have no idea. People always getting injured in the game of Delta. Now, let's move on to the final game.
And let's move on to the highest scoring game we had.
Holy shit, man. This is crazy. We had the U.S. Cup game on the 4th of July where Seattle is hosting Los Angeles and Chicago. Now, Seattle is coming off of 2 straight Premiership Shields and 2 consecutive trips to the finals. And this one, they freaking lose. Chicago. Like, I don't know what the hell happened here. Chicago 117, Seattle 57, LA 25. Now, Marnie Johnstone scores 24 points for the Pirates. But Chicago, check out this score sheet. Venus Pilar, 24 goals. LaQuisha Hershey, 20 points. Ivan Goss, 19 points. And gives Seattle the ass whooping of a lifetime. They have never lost that many freaking goals. That is crazy. And, yeah. Danny Mac for LA, 5 goals.
I would call this game a Grenada.
Holy moly. That's crazy. They just can beat the shit out of them. That's pretty crazy. That's actually fun to see.
Looks like the Saints showed the Angels what's what.
Exactly. Now, let's move on to league news. This week, Montreal Maelstrom Ali Hardman came out and said he's transitioning to become a woman. We'll see how this one goes. Like, there's already 2 women on the team to begin with, so gender really isn't an issue in this league. Competing at a high level is the issue.
All congratulations of coming out to want to be yourself, though. Obviously, the disadvantage does not matter to us. It's about performance, because the Elias women can outperform the men big time.
Well, you just saw tonight.
Yes.
Venus Pilar,
proves my point.
Freaking goals.
There you go.
So you know what? Do whatever you want to do. Just don't suck at this sport. Now, LA player Ivan Rechsteiner has converted to Buddhism. No reason given. Fans are already upset that it will change his on-court play, and they would prefer him to remain angry and as aggressive as possible. Now, Las Vegas player Jill Falsey has come out and admitted she was high on LSD for the entire game this week.
Well, that explains why she got 0 fucking goals scored.
That's exactly. She basically wandered around in dejection. Even though LSD is not on the list of banned substances, she's been suspended by the club for a week. You know, this reminds me of that baseball player Doc Ellis in the 70s, where he threw a no-hitter against the Padres on LSD.
It's 2026, though.
Yeah, I
Things
know
have changed
exactly.
big
It's
time.
absolutely a zero-brainer that you don't drop acid before you play, and you definitely don't go out on the court high.
Folks, you want to do what you want to do at home? That's fine. Don't do shit before work day.
Exactly, man. Now, let's move on to the mailbag, my favorite part of the week.
Oh boy.
Here we go. Matty V, always the guy that always calls in. Now, he says, I'm pretty stoked about the new playoff picture. We got 11 teams in there now. Yeah, we got 11 teams in there now. Since the league expanded from 18 teams to 21 teams, the playoffs were expanded to include 2 extra teams. This will result in a wild card game between seeds 9, 10, and 11, and the winner taking the last seed in the Wheel of Fire tournament. Now, there's 2 views on this. One is that the more teams that stay in the hunt in the postseason, the more the fan bases of these teams stay excited. It's a win-win for the league. It's good when the fans already know that they're never going to win a single game or score 1 goal in a game. It's really good for the fan base to know that you might be in it for a longer period of time.
Just like the Leafs.
Exactly. Now, number 2, the more teams that get in, the better chance of a bad team will get into the postseason. Yeah, that's, you know what? That's always a risk. That when you include more teams, that a shitty one is going to get in, but that's usually how it is. Everybody loves the Cinderella story. Yeah, but with the Pirates in the sky, we got 9 Cinderella teams this year.
It's almost the same amount of movies that are out.
Exactly. Hey, this week, to see what Chicago did to Seattle this week? Anything can happen this year. I'd love to see it. Now, we got the real Pierrot Perron. Now, I'd love to lay down my house on the Pirates to win this year, but they're currently negative 500 to win the championship. It's not even worth the investment. I think I'm betting on a 1-11 superfecta finish with the Pirates, Denver, Toronto, Chicago, Montreal, Philly, New York, Washington, Detroit, Phoenix, and the Orcas. After I cash in, I think I'll buy Mark Zuckerberg's yacht.
Good luck with that one, buddy.
Yeah.
But I do agree. I do appreciate your hustle.
Holy shit, man. I'm going to put my house on that? Holy shit. I think it's a pretty good bet, but you never know what can happen in the game of Delta. Like, Salt Lake City almost won this week. LA could just catch fire, and they have a reputation of catching fire when you least want them to, and if that happens, your whole bank account disappears into a fucking crater. Is just gone. I think a safer bet would be to take Baltimore to finish dead freaking last. That I can put money on. Because that team is the worst team my eyes have seen. Crazy. 24/7 Jello shots. Some of the uniforms the teams came out with this year are pretty awesome. I may need to max out my credit card and grab these. If you haven't seen these, Atlanta changed their look again. They got rid of the dragon. I don't know why they got rid of the dragon. I thought the dragon was a really good look. They also experimented with some different color schemes. They're actually kind of neat for a team to have a big variety of color schemes. But it's actually more important for a team to have a solid identity at the same time. See Vancouver Canucks. Detroit decided red wasn't their color anymore, and gray wasn't their color either. They're going to blue and black, plus they rebranded, and those are boss. They look really, really good. LA, holy moly, they shed the Lakers look and went total Satan. Really great looking. Memphis changed their uniforms for the 3rd time in 3 years. Now they're gold and blue. I think a safe bet would be that the Pharaohs changed their colors again. Salt Lake City introduced a new logo and went fluorescent green and black. And it made you forget that the team is shit. Denver, the reigning champions, changed their logo and their uniforms so they don't look like a 1970s hockey team anymore. And Vancouver changed their logo, a way more aggressive and updated color scheme. They look really good. Philly totally abandoned the Flyers look that they had. And they went to black, silver, and blood. And it's great. Now there's word that Dallas is thinking about changing their color scheme. And they want to change it to blue and green. Because there's a lot of people that are saying, you're stealing the Cowboys colors. And so these new jerseys could go into the dustbin of history pretty quickly, but then again, we might have to deal with these ugly things for quite some time, man.
We'll definitely need to talk to our artists about these because we need to make sure these are even legal to be sent out.
It's crazy.
You have to understand that a logo defines what you're trying to sell. And there has been some awful logo changes over the past years. It's just in any sport team in general.
Mm-hmm.
You lose your logo, you lose your identity. This is the Mighty Ducks losing the mask to put on just a duck fin. Or the Raptors losing the dinosaur to just put on a claw print.
Yeah.
You need to have something that stands out. If you look like everyone else, you're not going to go very far.
Yeah, you're not going to sell very many. And trying to sell yourself, that's incredibly important in today's marketplace.
I do agree with getting rid of the dragon is a bad idea. It was different. Why they did it, we'll have to wait for next time. But until then, we'll have to see what they do.
We'll just have to see how many jerseys they sell. And then maybe in a year's time, they're going to say, you know what? We're going retro again because we're not selling.
We usually don't want to get involved in this. We don't like putting our foot down. But in some cases, sometimes you have to forget that you're a boss, not a friend.
That's right. Okay, Poison Gas Man. These teams, the Swarm, Dallas, Atlanta, Portland, Baltimore, Vegas, Boston, they're the absolute shits. Then there's the Pirates in Denver, and they're so much better than everyone else. I think it's time for the league to explore some kind of competitive balance procedure. The more time that goes by, the more the have and the have-nots tend to kind of diverge from each other. This is a natural way that things happen, and eventually there's like a natural bell curve that happens with every league. It's just like life. It's just like, how tall are people? How much people weigh? What are people's IQ? This stuff just generally happens.
It's called progress.
This is just basically what happens. All the teams can't be exactly the same quality. It's just life. It's life. And you know what? And if Salt Lake City wasn't so shit, we'd have nothing to fucking talk about. So this week, when Salt Lake City almost won, this was freaking excellent to watch. Now,
folks, as much as we want to believe that all men are created equal, that is a fucking lie.
Yeah, it's just nonsense. Now, 1/3 of the league is shit. Like, you gotta do something. That's a little much. Maybe 2 or 3 teams not very good. 7 teams not very good. You got some work to do. But some would say that being a lamb to the slaughter is no honor either. So, who wants to be there? So, after this year, there's going to be a large number of contracts that are coming due. And free agency is a strong possibility for many of these players. So, free agency has a way of redistributing talent in a big way. Now, look at the names that are available here.
Folks, you gotta look at this and realize you can wait tables your entire life in Los Angeles, or you can be Batman.
You had like this is ridiculous. You got Isaac Parker Johnson. This guy was the franchise in Detroit for a little while. Lori Moss, the captain in Seattle, her contract is coming due. Frank Viano. Pooh McCarthy. This guy just got traded. Like, this is probably the best player in the league. Chip Chiozzi. Marnie Johnstone. The year this guy's having, he's going to score 250 goals this year. Larry McMaster. Your playoff MVP last year. Randy Magnuson. Alexa Saragosa. You got Vlad Millet.
I'm already looking at this and I'm thinking I should get my checkbook out. This is crazy.
It's nuts. Vince Howitt. Ray Rogers. Cyrus Holleran. Defensive Player of the Year. Evan Parawal. You got Curly Barnabani. Didn't Toronto just trade for this guy next year?
Yeah.
This guy's going to be a free agent after this year. Oh, man. I wonder where he's going to sign. This guy going to sign in Phoenix again?
How can you be this incompetent with your contracts?
Holy man. Now you got Tommy Anastos. This guy, like, it took like 2 first-round draft picks to get this guy out of Seattle. Now he's going to be a free agent. Stefan Grice. Angela Carlucci. Rhino Montalban. This guy's the MVP. Then you got Rock Weinstein. And that's just a small list of the elite players. Then you have like almost 100 players that are going to be available. It's going to be pretty crazy. And like even a few of these players might change the trajectory of your team. So if you think things are the shits right now, let's see what Dallas does in April. Things could change drastically.
That's
Now,
very crazy.
So just get ready, because there's going to be a free agent frenzy like never before. You know, they say that your favorite Delta team is very much like the weather in Newfoundland. It has the ability to change rapidly. Rapidly. Now, let's just move on to our predictions for next week.
That's exactly what my mother-in-law would say. You don't like the weather in Newfoundland? Give it a minute.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what my dad says too. Dad's an East Coaster too. Same thing. They say Newfoundland, you can experience all 4 seasons in one day. Now, let's move on to Monday, where we got Vancouver hosting SLC in Phoenix. Now,
I have high hopes for Phoenix. If Salt Lake City can prove me wrong, I'd love to see it.
well, you know, Vancouver really capitalized last week on beating 2 inferior opponents, and that's what good teams do. Salt Lake City really surprised last week, but I think this week they come crashing to earth and leave with nothing this week. Phoenix has been dealing with suspensions and injuries early, and they just lost a player to paralysis last week. So I'm taking the Orcas to stay hot in this one.
I'll have to agree with what we've seen.
Yep. Now, on to Wednesday, where Las Vegas is hosting Portland and Miami.
This one, I don't have high hopes for, starting to say.
Yeah, I mean, what happened with Miami last week?
Exactly.
They had a chance to leave with 4 points, and they ended up leaving with just 3. That is an epic fail. Now, based on how badly Vegas and Portland have played, taking Miami here might actually be a financially safe bet, but last week, Miami couldn't beat Salt Lake City, so take your chances. I'm going to take Miami, but remember, Miami has 1 win in the last 2 years. So an upset is absolutely possible here. Now, on to Saturday's matinee game, where Detroit hosts Boston and Baltimore. Now, last week, Detroit really poured on the pain against 2 great opponents, and I think the trend here continues as the Rock stay hot early.
Folks, we want to advise you to get to the game early because parking in Detroit is a pain in the ass. I speak from experience.
And if you know what, if you come there to see Baltimore play, you might miss 1 goal. Jesus Christ, that's horrible.
Well, let's add them to our list of chalking blocks that they keep
Holy
this shit
shit,
up.
man.
Here's hoping we see some improvement.
Yeah,
If we see 0, I think we might just cut them straight off.
exactly. Now, Washington is hosting Atlanta and Dallas. And Washington came out and put an absolute thrashing on Boston and Atlanta last week. And this week they get the Inferno again, but with another mediocre dance partner in Dallas. Washington wins again, plus frickin' points.
I see that too. I see Washington just destroying the other 2.
Yep. Now, Montreal hosts Memphis and Philly. And this week we see what Montreal is made of, because last week they put on a subpar performance versus Detroit and Toronto. Now, Philly should have come out way better, but just were flat all night. I think Memphis finishes 3rd here because there's 2 teams here with something to prove.
I absolutely agree. And considering the fact that our next game with Toronto hosting Chicago and New York, this is one I'd want to see.
Oh, absolutely, dude. Toronto hosting Chicago, New York. I mean, last week Chicago beat up on Seattle for 117 points. Just an uncanny number of goals. Like, this week, it's a battle of prospective playoff teams with Toronto and New York. Last week, Toronto and New York should have fared better. So this week, I'm taking this game to be the most entertaining and closest game of the week. Now, let's move on to the last one. LA is hosting, oh my God, finalists from last year, Seattle and Denver.
Folks, I guarantee the lobotomy would be funner than this.
Oh my god. Last week, Seattle and Denver finished second. And that's gonna piss them off. Expect both these teams to open a can of whoop-ass and LA to be the unwilling victim.
Folks, you ever seen the one-legged man in the ass-kicking contest? You will.
You will. I almost guarantee there's gonna be at least 200 points put up in this game. Crazy.
Take your bets now, folks. This is going to be something.
Yeah. All right.
Holy hell.
I know.
Well, that's a strong list that we got set up.
Yeah, exactly. So, that's it for this week in the Delta League podcast. Join us next week where the chaos will undoubtedly continue. See ya.